Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Anton Wheeler, your host of Voice of the People United Community Forum. I just want to say to you, since March 28th, a great many of you, since the show has returned, have come back and followed the content and been chiming in and leaving messages and things of that nature as we go through our spring election series. There are a number of people running for office. There are primaries, there are municipal elections, school board elections. I've been fortunate and blessed enough to talk with a few of the people that's running. This evening, I get to talk to a young man who's no stranger to community activism, advocacy, and service. And he's decided to, run for councilman at large. He's asking for one of your 4 votes for that position at large. Everybody probably knows who he is. I'm blessed to know him. And one of my forum students was, that I know of to date, has been able to come to us through his program and through his leadership and mentorship. He's doing very well. So this evening I'll be speaking with Altarik White, Dr. Altarik White, aka Al White. I'm talking to Al White. He and I are gonna chop it up a little bit. I have some questions for him. Like I said, I'm fair to everybody. I told him, I spoke with him and let him know what it is that I wanted to touch upon, and get in depth about, and his knowledge and his understanding, his professional experiences, and why he needs to lead the city. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, station identification. Here comes Altarik White.
Hey,
okay, man. What's going on, my man? Hey, look, I thought you was gonna have on some A5A, so I almost did it to you. I was gonna do it to you. I thought you was gonna put on some A5A.
I didn't want you to get scared, man. You know y'all little bros, man. Like my man Tut said, y'all little bros, man. That's my new favorite word now, little bros.
Little bros. Hey, man, I didn't want to put it on.
Tut got me calling everybody little bros, man.
What's the deal, man? How you been, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Yesterday was a little tough for me. Every year, Johns Hopkins, they do a memorial service for all the children that they lost to cancer. So I went to Baltimore last night for that memorial service. And, I miss my girl, man.
Yeah, man.
I miss my girl. So at the end of the day, I'm doing this for her, really. That's my baby, man. Jordan was the life of the party. She was someone that I truly admired. She was so talented, man. She would have gave so much to this world,
Yeah, man.
So yesterday was a little tough. Today is better, and when I have my moments, I have them. I don't try to fight them anymore. When I have my moments, I have them. When I'm strong, I'm strong. So. But I was so looking forward to this, man. We haven't had lunch or dinner in such a long time.
And we normally do.
Come on, man. I got a little cash now, man. Let's do this, man. A little something now, man.
All right, man. All right. Hey, but listen, man. I just first of all, I want to give you a shout out, man. Tell you, man, I love and respect you as a father.
Mm-hmm.
The community in my heart, it always is going out to you, especially since we all learned the news. And I appreciate and commend how strong you've been through it all, because I lost my parents. I've lost a sibling. I've lost cousins, but God forbid, I don't want to know what that's like. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? And for you to just get up, man, and still, fight the fight you're fighting and are able to commit yourself to community service. I just want to commend you on that. I was talking to Brother Muta Elamine yesterday. And, that was one of the things that he said about you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, giving your service, and that aspect of you as a man, like those are things that, should be commended. And, when he was commenting on how you know, he looked at you as like a mentor, whether you understood it or not, or you are his future self, you know, in a great many ways, man. Even with me, you know how we talk all the time about
absolutely
in my own school and doing all those different things, man.
And that's very nice of him to say, and very nice of him to know that, you know, it's nice to be recognized for your work and not for your popularity, you know.
Yeah, man.
You want to be recognized for the way you make people feel. Do you help them become better? You help them become better selves, right? Mm-hmm. If that even makes sense. Help them to become the best version of themselves. Mm-hmm. And if I can use my platform to do that, by all means, you know, I'm a servant of Allah. I'm a servant of the young people here and their families. So, yeah, let's get into it, brother.
All right, man. So you know, first thing I want to know is, even though we know who Al White is, but you know, tell them who the community servant, who is the career-long coach, athletic director, all of those different things. Tell them who that individual is and why he decided to run for.
Well, I'm gonna leave Mooka out though, because we're gonna leave Mooka from Belmont Avenue out of this conversation, because you know.
Fair enough.
That can take us so many different places, man. But you know, back to Altarik White, I've been coaching, I've been mentoring for 35 years. I've been back home. When I left Miami, it's been almost 35 years, man. And I've been coaching, I've been mentoring, started businesses, I don't employ people, I don't mentor young kids. I started my own high school. Can you believe that? I have a high school, right? Some of my old teachers were like, how the hell he decided to start a high school? After all the crap I put my teachers know. But I am somebody who wants to see Newark win, you know? I want Newark and Newarkers to be successful. I want when they come to me, I want them to be better than they were yesterday, you know. And that's why, you know, I'm passionate about it, right? This is not a job for me, right? I'm retired. I could be any place in the world, just living my life, getting fat, you know. I choose to come here every day to Leaders for Life. I choose to work with young people and their families. I choose to find solutions to some of the ills and some of the problems that we have in our community, not just for the South Ward, but for Newarkers. You know, I'm a South Ward guy, even though I spent some time in West at Bradley Court. Mm-hmm. You know, I grew up on Belmont Avenue, baby. You know, from Belmont we went to Prince, and then from Prince up to Bradley Court. But I'm a Newarker, baby. I'm a South Ward Newarker, down the hill. That's what we call it. I just want to be able to take what I've done, the success that I have, and multiply it, you know. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's you know, do I have all the answers? Absolutely not. But you'll never find somebody that's more committed to Newark than me, right? I want people to understand that there are resources out here. There are resources out here, and we must. And at the end of the day, if you are in a position to help somebody, it's your moral duty, right? Muhammad Ali said, service to others is the rent we pay for occupying space on this earth. And I'm a firm believer of that. He said that back in 1978. And I'm a firm believer of that. You know, you have an opportunity to help somebody, you should do it. You should do it because it's the moral thing to do, right? You shouldn't do it because you're going to get something out of it, or you taking a selfie. Look at what I'm doing, or you know, the new buzz for him is poverty pimping. Mm-hmm. So that's never been me. That ain't ever going to be me. I mean, people know, you know, yeah, I'm the principal of a high school, but I'm in the trenches. I'm outside, like my brother Ab said. We outside. I'm knocking on doors. I'm going to pick kids up for school. You know, just the other day, little cat was late. You know me, I'm coming to get you.
Come and get you. That's right. That's right. That's where I learned that from. Show up at the house.
Yeah, I'm pouring water on your ass. Get up. Mom, this ain't for you. Stay where you at. Get your ass up, right? So and then that's an opportunity to talk, you know, on the way back. This is our opportunity to talk about the reasons and why I want you to be successful. But damn, why, why you do this? Why you do that? Because I need you in school, man. I got you for, we do 4-month cohorts. I only got you for 4 months. I mean, I got you for the rest of your life, but in terms of what we're trying to do to help you get your high school diploma, it's 4 months, and I need you in school. And oftentimes, it's just trust, right? Our young people don't trust us anymore, right? Our young people, they've been failed by so many adults, and I don't want to say in particular black men, but a lot of men have failed our young men and our children altogether. So we got to do a better job of supporting them. We got to do a better job of helping people become better within themselves. Mm-hmm. So the reason I'm running for council is I think that I know that I can make it better. I know that with the things I've done, with the meager resources we have, and we're able to graduate 500 young people who didn't have a high school diploma that Newark Public Schools may or may not kicked out, right? We were able to feed 16,000 families last year, on course to feed 25,000 families this year. I know that if I can certify 168 residents in CPR in 1 year with more resources, we may be able to do 500 residents in a life-saving act like CPR, right? And just a whole host of other things that we do. Our SNAP benefit program, we took 49 individuals who received SNAP and paid for them to go back to school. And many of them are actually working now. They got, CNA certificates, medical assistant certificates, coding, billing. Okay, we were able to bring $10 million into the city the last 5 years, employing Norkers, right? Being able to feed Norkers, being able to provide resources for Norkers. And I just want to make that bigger, right? I want to make it bigger. I mean, we do a lot, in this little space here on the corner of West Runyon and Clinton Place. And we want to be able to expand our reach and help more families.
So, bro, I was about Candidate White. I was about to say big bro. Hey, listen, seriously though, you do all of this, man, and I'm gonna get to the rest of the questions in a minute. Mm-hmm. But like you said, we haven't sat down and chopped it up in a minute. But you do all this, man. Why give yourself the stress and the strain of these? You know what I want to say,
right,
Cat.
Right.
In this political structure, in this dynamic, you already are effectuating change for the members of the community. Why this? What? Why?
I'm gonna pause because I was told don't jump right into it. Okay, my publicist, she's on me. She said stop, think about it, and then respond. So if you think about it, there are so many people in our city who are struggling, right? Who are afraid. Maybe they don't have the wherewithal to say I need help. Maybe they're embarrassed. Maybe they don't even know who to go to, right? I'm someone that they can trust. I'm someone that's been in this community, from coaching football at Shabazz in the 90s to coaching football at Weekway in the 2000s and to running Leaders for Life here from 2012 to now. People see me out in the community. I'm not sitting behind a desk, right? I'm not sending emails, man. I'm out in the community. People can touch me. People can talk to me. I can pick up the phone and get resources done. I can call somebody and say, listen, I have a situation here. I can get things done, right? And I'm a connector, right? I'm a connector. At the end of the day, I love it, really. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy making people's life better and easier and connecting people to the resources that we have. Now, it's so much more that we can be doing, city government, that's not being done because of, personalities, because of, who people like, who they don't like, okay? When you're in city government, when you're in government, period, it don't matter if you voted for me or not. I must represent you as if I'm representing the person that voted for me. There is no clear distinction that, okay, well, Anton didn't vote for me, so I get to him when I get to him, right? No, that's not how it works, okay? My job is to govern the whole city of Newark, and that's what I plan on doing, I plan on helping as many residents as I possibly can. And since I've been knocking on doors, man, I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken on how some of the people are living, right? I'm heartbroken on we live in a city with all these different resources, and you got people struggling the way they are, right? You got grandparents living in substandard conditions, man. I cried in this lady's arm a couple weeks ago, man. Like, how can we do this? How can you morally know that somebody is struggling and you don't help them? And you have the ability to do that, right? You have the ability to do that, right? So it is. We have a moral responsibility in this city to help one another. And I can talk about, my plight, being homeless, and at 15 I was homeless. At 21, I was the #1 college football player in the country, or one of the best college football players in the country, because somebody gave me a chance. Somebody said, I'm going to give this young man an opportunity, right? And that's what we must do. We got to help people, right? Now, at the end of the day, if you're doing it for a reason to get something out of it, stay the hell out my way, right? Stay the hell out my way, okay? It's so much I can go on about, why I'm running, but to bring it home, I'm running because I want Newarkers to win. I want all of Newark to win. I want all of Newark to do better.
Real quick, Coach, and that's I feel more comfortable saying that because that's what everybody know. So, Coach, so Coach, you know what I'm saying? Like, you will take that mantra, that spirit, that energy, that competitive nature, having played professional football, having played college football, have been a great high school football star, a college football star, and been a professional football player. There's a competitive edge to you. You and I always joke, about that edge. And you sometimes I learn by watching you. Sometimes you see the finish line, but you got the horse, with the Kentucky Derby, the horse barn thing on.
Yeah.
And this is one of them fields, man, where you got to take them off because you're gonna have cats coming. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
From different angles, and then when you come in with credibility, it's just like what they say about the Epstein class or whatever. There's going to be someone always trying to compromise your credibility. And just to the audience, just it don't have to be all long drawn out. How do you plan on dealing with that? Because one of the things that I see is that for the most part, in my opinion, you, a couple of cats, Mutab, a couple other cats, and I mean, even I talked to Jimmy McCoy. I'm like, man, you're a retired law enforcement. What are you doing this for?
Right.
So like, y'all don't need nothing really. You know what I mean? So like,
but that's a plus.
Yeah, right. But it still makes you a target. Absolutely. And being able to galvanize people and get them re-engaged. So with that being said, how do you plan to deal with that?
So at the end of the day, when you hide stuff and when you're not authentic and you got other ulterior motives, right? When you lie, you have to continue to lie to cover up the lie, because So I don't lie, I don't steal, I don't cheat. I bring myself around like-minded individuals, and for two reasons. One is for protection, right? At the end of the day, I don't have all the answers. I got to partner with people that's doing that work. Government's job is to give you resources to handle a task. Like we talked about, one of the questions is, what are you going to do the first 100 days when I win, right? I'm going to do a 70-day listening tour. 70 days, just listen to block associations, district leaders, kids, grandmothers, business owners, people walking down the street, everybody. I want to listen to everybody. I just want to take notes. I want to gather notes. How can I make your life better, right? For 70 days, we're going to do that, right? My team already knows. You might as well get prepared, because for the first 70 days after that inauguration, we're in the streets, right? It's almost like you're continuing the campaign, but this is an information gathering exercise, right? And the last 30 is to put a plan together with the residents that you had the conversation with, right? So now they feel empowered right? People gonna come at me. People talk about me all the time, man. They must don't know Booski Brown. So, so they must don't know who Booski Brown is. So at the end of the day, I feel good. I know they're gonna come at me, right? They're gonna say this, they're gonna say that. But when you're covered by Allah, man, I don't worry about that stuff. We just deal with it as it comes. And you're right. I have to be laser focused without those stirrups, right? Right. But this is where you're partnering with other individuals, right? Because the people have the answer. They can tell you, I can't come to your house and make dinner, right? And if you don't like dinner, you got to say, hey, man, I ain't like dinner. But guess what? You didn't let me shop for the groceries, right? If you're going to hold me accountable for dinner, Bill Parcells said, if you want to hold me accountable for dinner, you got to at least let me shop for the groceries, right? Right. So I gotta work with people who are like-minded. I gotta work with people who understand that this is a community effort, right? So if you want to, do this one-on-one thing, you can't be in city government, or you got some other ulterior motive. So you have to include others in the process.
So I'm glad you said what you just said, because it goes to the other question that I had. You're just one vote.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. And It takes 5 to move something.
Right.
So what is your plan to galvanize other members on the council? And who are some of the people that you are focused on? You may not directly or indirectly be supporting, but you believe that they will be good partners to work with to get things delivered for the city of Newark.
I deliberately don't think about that, right? When I say deliberately don't think about it, I'm strategically not setting myself up to try to work with someone or try to do something with someone, and then it don't turn out for them or me, right? So when I win, right, I'm gonna get it on record, right? People gotta understand, everything you vote on, everything you say is recorded, right? So I will hope that I'm able to work with members of the city council, either current or newly elected ones, because they have a greater sense of moving Newark forward, right? And if it don't happen, then we're going to get them on record. And then they're going to have to explain to the residents or explain to the city of Newark their position, right? Because my position is always for the people. Always, right? Always for the people. Now, there is a business side to city government. And I understand that. And there's going to be a learning curve for that. But I know business, baby, right? I'm a businessman. And people understand there's a business side to education. You don't bring $10 million into an entity if you don't know what you're doing. People don't, feds ain't going to give you no money if you don't know what you're doing.
That's right.
So to answer your question, I'm hoping that, when I do get on, that people will want to work with me, because make them excited enough to say, okay, this is a different perspective. This is a different type of energy. This is a different type of way of doing something, right? Because what I'm doing on this little small corner is highly effective. It's highly effective. You don't get 506 or 8 graduates from an alternative space if you don't know what you're doing. You don't partner with, the feds to get, $3 million in SNAP benefit money, even when they cut and SNAP, if you don't know what you're doing, right? You don't get granted an alternative high school if you don't know what you're doing. Right. So it's not that, this is Altarik White. There's a whole team of people. I'm just the head coach. Right. Okay. I'm just the head coach. I have a team of people, of experts that know what they're doing. I just give them the resources to bring the real resources here. Right. Mm-hmm. Then I'll disperse the resources out into the community.
So it's funny you say that, because before I got on with you, I was in class. We were data-driven decision making, okay. And one of the things is a leader. What's your strategic plan? So hold on, Coach, because people hear that phrase, mm-hmm. And us in the education field, or people who are in business or corporations, they understand what that means and how it's phased out. Mm-hmm. So what's your overall damn, well, you got me off the questions, man. What's your overall strategic plan to try to build that infrastructure as being a councilman at large to effectuate the change you need?
So there's no prerequisite for being a councilman at large, right? You're learning on the job, right? what I bring to the table is what you just said. We use data to inform policy for city government. We use data in the educational realm to move schools forward, to drive scores up, right? We just don't come in one morning and say, okay, let's try this, try that, because you just be throwing money away. We use data to inform all of our policies and all of our decisions here. And that's the same mindset I'm going to bring to city government, using data and partnerships, right? Because at the end of the day, government don't do the job. We just provide the resources for others to do the job.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm gonna say this because I understand about data and I get it. But my mother used to always tell me numbers don't lie, but sometimes the people who report them do.
Absolutely.
So you have to get honest data metrics to be able to really intrinsically go in and provide the supports that are needed to effectuate the change that is projected. I mean, man, you got me all over the place now. So I gotta ask you one question in particular, man. At current, all right. There's been overtures of the notion that there's been an extrapolated municipal government, school board, housing authority, and at the root cause of that is corruption. The first thing I'm going to ask you about is, although the school board in and of itself is different from the municipal council, however, the municipal council and the municipal government can sponsor or offer tax levies and things of that nature. There is a connection between the two entities.
Right.
What's your opinion about that $500 million lease deal with no ownership of the building after 30 years? What's your perspective on that?
That is the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life. I want to say it, but I'm not. How in the hell are we going to spend $500 million on an entity and not own it at the end of the lease? There's have to be some other stuff going on. I'm not at liberty to say because I don't know, right? I'm not at liberty to say because I'm not on the council yet. But when I get on the council, you best believe that trust and accountability will be at the premise of my tenure, right? One of the things we have to do is people got to believe in us again, right? We have to believe that every decision we make is going to benefit Newark, not benefit me, not benefit us as a council, right? Newarkers should be benefiting from it, right? Ain't no way in hell I'm paying $1 million a month rent. So I'm defaulting. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not paying no $1 million a month rent for no damn 30 years. That's crazy. So at the end of the day, we have to trust and accountability, man. We have to, people have to believe that the people that they voted for, and I don't know the ins and outs. All I know is what I read. It could be some other stuff in there. It could be, all I know is there's nowhere I'm voting or I'm gonna ask a ton of questions. I'm gonna get it on record. I'm gonna bring people from the school board. I'm gonna bring them to the council. You got to answer this on record, right? How did you think that was a good idea, right? Tell me your metrics. Tell me the data that you have to say that this is a good idea, and then you got to look at who received that contract and what type of favors that person may or may not have done in the city of Newark, right? To members of the council or members of the school board. I don't know. I'm not saying that he did or didn't. I'm just saying that was a I'm trying to use the word without cursing, but at the end of the day, that you don't do that. Not to the resident, not when we got kids, in the third grade who can't read. 95% of them can't read on level, right? Not when you have, an alternative space like mine and you got over 8,000, 16 to 21-year-olds who are disconnected from Newark Public School. So who's going to be in those seats, right? So you're going to have an empty building paying $1 million a month? That just doesn't make, fiscal sense to me.
I mean, it just sounded stupid to me in a sense that, well, first of all, after the first 10 to 15 years, the building is obsolete because of the advancements in technology and everything else. Depending
beyond
on
that.
beyond
that. Yes.
beyond
So
that.
you're dumping another $200 million on top of the $300 million that you owe this cat.
Right. So,
Right.
and then you got to think about the different things with regards to like, people don't even understand what's happening with these data centers. Cause like, you know, you got a lot of school districts, man, and affluent school districts that are cutting staff, closing schools and doing things because, you know, hell, the electric bill has gotten higher because of data centers, the healthcare, the medical care for employees.
Dozen of eggs.
Yeah.
Dozen of eggs are out of control, right?
Yeah,
bread,
man.
milk, bread.
It's
all
really
that's
different.
out of control. Right?
Yeah, it's
rent,
really
rent is out of control, right? Gas, I mean, I drive an S580, man. I had to pay $5 a gallon yesterday, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. I put a quarter tank in that motherfucker, man.
You went back to old school. Hey, man, hit $30, man. Go ahead.
30. I said, man, give me 25, man.
Yo, you shout out, man.
I put a quarter tank in there. I'm making a joke about it, man, but it's serious though. Because, you know, you got families out here hurting and we have spaces who are in places to help. Like, you know, one of the notes I wrote down, man, we want to make the city more affordable and make it more opportunity rich. Right.
All right. So, Coach, and thank you, Sister Tara Finley. Thank you very much. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in. Please like and share the show. This is your host, Anton Wheeler, Voice of the People United Community Forum. I'm on with Dr. Altarik White. Al White. He's running for Newark Municipal Council at large this coming May 12, 2026.
B9, baby, B9.
B9. All right. So now what I want to say, you brought it up and it came up organically because you said basically it's affordability crisis, but that's felt across the country. What do you believe are some of the missteps and mistakes that have been made here that has contributed to the lack of affordability for the residents of Newark?
Well, so I'll stick with the rent, housing, right? Rents is out of control, right? We have a rent control board. Like, what are we doing, right? I got families coming here, Coach, I need help with my rent, right? Do you know somebody? Can you help me up with a program, right? And then when you go see the space is so, you know, I'll say this, and I said this on Big Zay, you know, in the morning, couple, you know, on Friday, you know, cold don't mean good. Just because it's up to cold don't mean good. Maybe we need to look at our standards of cold, right? Right. I got people living in places that, you know, there was no heat, wasn't no water, got a hole in the ceiling, it's rat infested. You know, I'm literally in people standing in the doorway and, you know, little things just running all over the place. And they're like, well, you know, I'm used to it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm looking all around. I said, this is my old life. I'm better than this now. But at the end of the day, we got to help people, man. Rent is out of control, right? We got to do a better job of making sure that people are not paying more than 30% of not just on rent, but on all their bills. You know, it's like you robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you got to have, you know, 8 or 9 people living in the house just to help pay the rent, pay the bills, and it's not fair. It's not fair. I mean, we have a rent control board, so let's put them to work. You know.
Okay. Hey, Coach. So I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna get back to the questions in a minute, but you know, like you said, we haven't chopped it up and organically, you know, all of the things, you know, come to mind. So let me ask you this. Unfortunately, quote unquote, Newark spending practices have gained us the ire of different communities around the state. You know, especially when it comes to our school board budget and things of that nature. You know, how we are sometimes late with the budget and request state aid. And now you got a lot of you know, other communities you know, speaking up against that or whatever. And one of the things that I had to remember when I listened to, even though I believe that there is misfeasance, malfeasance, and nonfeasance, and just competency and straight out corruption, I believe that. That's my personal opinion.
Right.
I remind people that Newark is the county seat of Essex and probably the economic hub of New Jersey. So we have a lot of buildings, state, county, and federal, who don't pay back taxes. I mean, if you think about all the schools we have in this city, they don't pay taxes on that property.
All right.
You think about all the county buildings, you think about all the federal buildings, you think about all of the nonprofits, and then you put on top of that, you put the tax abatements that was given out.
I'm going to talk about that.
You squeezing the homeowners and the residents and even the renters, because even though a building developer may get a tax abatement, they still gonna go up on their rent based off of whatever they see as inflation. So how do you propose we deal with that?
So one of the things I'm definitely going to try to pass legislation is I'm getting rid of 30-year tax abatements. Right now, I'm not against tax abatement. Tax abatements are sometimes the lifeline of a city because they bring development in, right? But if you get a city tax abatement, you better have Newarkers working on that development, right? I will propose having a 10-year tax abatement, right, and then reapply for another 10 years if you don't have any issues or any fines or any complaints against you or the building. So the residents and the taxpayer always. So it always bothered me. I never knew until maybe 5 years ago. Do you know that Newark Public School got more money than the city?
Yeah, man, they got a $1.7 billion budget. Newark budget is about
Newark residents send 150 million or 120 to 150 million to the district.
Yeah.
So not only is your budget bigger than mine, I'm going to take some of the money that I have and I'm going to send it to the school district, right? So it has to be some oversight. It has to be some trust. Accountability must have. So if you propose a budget for 2027 and 2026, you propose a budget in 2027, right? 2027 hit. Halfway through 2027, all of a sudden now it's a deficit. Well, how is that possible when you created this budget? Because there's some other things going on. Some. It has to be because.
Hey, you know what? You know what I would like? I would like to see that council members only have 2 added starters per quarter of council meetings. Okay. Because every time they want to force something down your throat, they put an added starter, and it could be for a couple of $100,000 or a couple of million.
Right.
And you just voting on it. There's no discussion. There's none of that.
Right.
So one of the things, like if I would have run it and I would have talked about was definitely, we have to limit the added starters to the agenda because it doesn't give the council people nor the community enough time to digest them. Right. At least that's how I remembered it when I worked for Shaw.
Well, maybe that's by design.
Well, then we need to get rid of that design.
You see what you just did? Now you're going to be on my advisory council on budgetary issues. I'm going to be calling on you to educate me on that play, right? Because I don't do that, right? I don't. Everything for me is in the front. Everybody knows my books are all fresh. My payroll is always on time. Every year my accountant has my tax ready to go by February 28th because there's nothing to hide, right? There is no malicious intent going on here, right? So trust, we have to bring back trust to the council, accountability, obviously. Now, I'm not saying that, the council is doing something illegal. I'm just saying that, there's something going on that it must be investigated.
It's something going on that you wouldn't do. That's what basically.
Definitely, I wouldn't do it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I respect that.
Yes.
All right. So let me get back focused back because I got you for about 25 more minutes, man. What do you believe is the most single unaddressed issue in the city of Newark over the past 4 election cycles? What do you believe is the most single unaddressed issue?
And I'm coming to you from an educational standpoint and a systematic standpoint, opportunities for our young people, right? In particular, our young boys, right? With the talent in this city, we should have. And let's speak football, with the talent that's in this city, it should be 20 to 25 football scholarships being given out to our kids every year. We should have, we should have college coaches, building fields in our community, right? Because I've seen it happen all over the state of Florida, all over Texas. Okay, the NFL built 75% of the fields that's in the state of Florida, 85% of the fields that's in the state of Texas. The NFL built that because they know where their product come from. Right now, we may have one or two, make it out, but when in a city this rich in talent, we should have more, right? And then they say we get 20, then they come back and they motivate the other young men to do the right thing. We need training facilities, right? We need more resources for our coaches, right? I will move to a plan where coaches are not in the classroom teaching, right? They're running programs. We have to get coaches running the program. One thing I love about Mr. Stone, and God rest him, that when he hired me over at Weekway, he said, and anybody that knows Stone, God damn it, the losing stops. Everybody knows Stone.
Fact.
He took $50,000 and he got me a weight room, right? Because they didn't even have a weight room, right? They had universal weights, and you can't compete with that. So he got he took $50,000 and he created a weight room, and then you saw the difference in our bodies, in our kids' bodies, in their attitude, and then I came in and laid the hammer down of discipline and accountability, right? Discipline for the students, accountability for the adults. Now, just because you like football don't mean you should be in front of somebody's kid teaching, because our Pop Warner system, man, all I hear is a bunch of yelling and screaming and cursing. There's no teaching, there's no loving, there's no inspiring happening on the field, right? So we need to create more spaces for our young people, right? And that's just one entity, right? When I talk about being, more affordable and more opportunity rich, I'm talking about for the young people as well, right? We hire 3,000 young people every summer, right? Right? Oh, the old Marion Barry play. Marion Barry started the Summer Youth Development Program back when he was the mayor of D.C., right? Back when I was a kid, it used to be called Speedy, right? Why we can't take 2,000 out of 3,000 and have them work throughout the year? It's all about people's priorities, okay? The resources are there, all right? And now let's talk about the after-school program. 15 years ago, under Dr. Webster, we had the #1 after-school program in the entire country. Okay, kids got financial literacy, they got a healthy meal, they got supported reading, writing, and math. Right? We didn't have a lot of teenage pregnancy. The violence was down. Our scores were up. Like, it's like when you have something good, they take it away. Right? It's almost like I want you to fail. Because you know why? Because the money is in the problem, not the solution. See, I'm a part of the solution, right? I'm a part of the solution, and that's why people are going to fight, right? That's why people are going to say, "Nah, Reek don't believe. He asks too many questions, right? He gonna investigate shit, right? He gonna do the job that everyone else should be doing instead of just yes. No, that's not going to work with me, right? And again, I'm not talking about no one. I'm just talking about how I am. Right? I ask a lot of questions, right? Right? Sometimes, and I tell people, if I'm the smartest person in the room, that's not a very bright room, right? My job and my gift, if I bring people together, right? I bring the smart people together, and I challenge them, and I give them the resources to come up with the solutions, right? Because that's my gift, right? My gift is bringing people together. I can go in any hood in this city and get love. I'm either Coach White, I'm either Wizzy, I'm either Mooka, I'm either Dr. White, I'm either Altarik, or I'm either Al White. You can call me any one of those things, but I go any place in this hood and get love.
That's what's up, man. So let me double back a little bit, because I haven't been in education for 20 years now, and that's me and you talk about that a lot when we build. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you see the future of education in the state of New Jersey and in the city of Newark?
Well, let's stay in the state. Let's stay. You know what? Let me address this. You know that since COVID, we've kind of redirected some stuff, and we kind of took the requirements that you can teach without even having a certificate.
Man, you ain't got man. Look,
yeah. So I think it's all designed to dumb down education, right? Right. At the end of the day, kids need competent, trustworthy, loving people in front of them, right? And if you're a young boy, especially in the early ages, you should be a black man, right? 4 million teachers in this world, only 1.8% are black.
That's right.
Black men, right? So what they see is what they'll be, right? We need to put spaces together. I remember when I was administrator of Mark Shabazz, I put a lot of money, I fought to put a lot of money in the Future Teachers Club, right? I can never say the word. When kids go to school to learn how to do hair and nails.
Cosmetology.
Cosmetology. I used to call it cosmopolitan with the drink, man. so we have to create spaces for our young people to want to do it. Now, everybody's not going to go to college, right? Now, I went to college because I could run that ball, baby. I'm telling you. There's one thing I know I can do in my sleep is run that ball, right? But everybody don't want to go to college. We have to create spaces for them to, Newark is, they're building all these different homes in our community, but we're not building them, right? That's not us.
But Al, you know what that is. I mean, at the most part, man, we got kids graduating with high school diplomas, man, and they can't pass an 8th, 7th grade, 8th grade math test. Exactly. They can't read. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, like Sister Dr. Muhammad said, how many trade institutions or programs in the schools do we have in the city? Yeah. Why can't we bring back trade in our educational system? Well, one, for me, we do have some programs, but what happened with that was, the mighty county drowned us out.
Right.
And now they have the institutions, they have the tech schools and things of that nature, right. And they play a little politics better than Newark's president past leadership, right. After Sharp James. At least that's my opinion.
Right.
That's my opinion.
So Joe, you're absolutely right. We partner with UCC, United Community Corporation. Half the day they with us getting a high school diploma, half the day they learning a trade. It's plumbing, electrical, CNA, medical coding, billing. They learning some type of trade. Many of them go into construction, right? But, the resources have to be there, right? We have to intentionally put the resources there so our young people can thrive, right? So everybody's not as tough as I am on our kids. I love hard, right? Everybody know I give our body work, right? And then I give you a great big hug and a kiss. But at the end of the day, our kids need for somebody to go to bat for them. Our black boys need champions, man. Our black boys need people to believe in them, right? So at the end of the day, we have to put resources in place so that we can see them thrive and finish the line. Not just put it in place and, check the box on a report. Actually hand walk them, guide them through it. Smack them upside their head if they have to. If you don't do it, call me. I'll do it, right? I'll do it. But as long as they get the information they need to be successful, man, because they're angry. Our black boys are angry, man.
And as long as they know you love them, they don't mind, man. I learned that over 20 years, man.
My bad, White. That's all I hear. My bad, White.
Yeah, man. It's always, I'm sorry later, or, I get it now, man. That's part of my teaching philosophy. I've always remind people, what I didn't get right with mine, I'm damn sure going to get right with yours.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, listen, man, I got 3 more questions for you because we organically wrapped all this up, brother. Okay. And I appreciate it, man. You talked about your first 100 days. We got into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to be honest with you, man. That's a media buzzword. I hate that phrase because I don't know what could really be done in 100 days. Well, because the problems didn't take 100 days to create.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying, Coach?
So I start the conversation. You start the conversation, right? You give them the snippet of what's going to happen over the next 4 years. You include people. People have to be inclusive, right? Right? Now, guess what? You might even like the answer. You might not like the response, but you are happy with the process because you were included. Okay? Maybe you didn't win on this one. Maybe I'll get you on the next one. But as long as not just you or me or somebody that I like, I know this chick over here, or I know this family over here, I want them to do well. No, I want everybody to do well. Now, as a leader, every decision you make, somebody's going to be negatively or positively affected by it. But is that decision moving Leaders for Life forward, or is it moving the city forward, or is it helping us get to an end result? And an end result has to be for the entire city or for that community, at least, that I'm working with at that particular time. I lost you.
My bad, brother. I hit the mute button by accident. So I got to ask you this one. It has been said that if you don't believe Newark is having success and is winning, because you just said that you want to help Newarkers win, if you believe, you should shut your damn mouth and you shouldn't be talking. And that's a paraphrase of something that was said during I guess a community engagement speech, and then during a state of something, a state of city address.
Let me read that again. I gotta read that one. It has been said that if you don't believe Newark is having success and is winning, you should shut your damn mouth. Well, winning for who? A lot of the doors I knocked on, those people are not winning, right? Right? Now, some people are doing extremely well in this city. I myself are one of those people. I do extremely well in the city of Newark, right? But am I that naive to think that just because a few of us are winning, that I'm gonna forget all the other ones that are not, right? Now, at the end of the day, you have a duty. You have a duty to do the best you can, and not just say that. I mean, I don't know who even said it, right? And definitely, I'm not gonna shut my damn mouth. So again, they must don't know who Booski Brown is. At the end of the day, they don't know who Booski Brown is. So I ain't gonna shut my damn mouth for nobody. At the end of the day, some people are winning, right? Right? A small 10, 15, 20%. But I want to flip that. I want the 80%. I want the 80% to win. And then we still focus on that other 20%. But I'm not gonna shut my damn mouth for no one.
All right, brother. All right, man. Well, listen, man. We at the hour mark just about, man. I just want you
already.
Yeah, man.
I'm telling my guys, baby. I'm like Mike, game 6 on this, man. I'm Mike, game 6. Right? I'm sick, Mike, on the sideline coughing. I'm still going out giving you 43.
Hey, my man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
At the end of the day, I'm a Norker, baby. That's what we do.
That's what we do. Yeah, man. So let me ask you this, man. And this is a selfish question. What do you feel about mobile community education centers and micro schools?
I have to do more research on that.
I want to get we talk. I want to get what you want to speak with you about that, man.
I was just ready to say that, right?
Yeah, man.
Ready to say that. There are some spaces that when our kids who are strong enough to do that. And we need to give families options. I'm all for giving family options. If I'm able to go to a micro school and thrive, because I don't do well in large settings.
Right.
It's too many people. It's too much noise. The teacher is focusing on Raheem because Raheem is doing all his bullshit because Raheem don't want to get called on because maybe Raheem's struggling with reading. So I'm going to get the teacher's attention. And now you got this kid over here like, I'm not getting the attention that I deserve. Wow. Right? So I'm not against it. I'm just not all the way for it until I do more research on it. Right?
I respect that.
But if the space is there, I'm going to support it. If I got enough families saying this is what we want, then that's my job, is to provide them with the resources to do it. Right? Now, we talked about it briefly. I just need to, it's not that you need to sell me on it. I just need to know.
Oh, you just got to do your due diligence.
I need to know the backstory of it.
Yeah, I respect
People
that.
always go, see, understand this. Every time we take pictures, we throw our L's up, right? And people say, well, why are you doing that? One lady said, why are you throwing up a gang sign? This is years ago. I said, man, that's not a gang sign. The organization is called Leaders for Life. And we just throw our L's up, so we want people to know that I'm from Leaders for Life, right? But this is the end result, right? This is the end result. There's a backstory to being able to have a bunch of kids who maybe 18, 19, 20, 21 years old who got kicked out of Newark Public School. Now they got their high school diploma. That's a success. So we throw our L's up, right? We throw our L's up when we go on trips with the 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, right? Because we want them to feel good about where they come from, right? We got people that lived in the North You got people that live in the South. I got some kids that come over from Central. They're all conversing together here in the South, and they all throwing their L. Ain't no beef. There's no problem, right? We can have dialogue without having a confrontation. You know, my high school been in effect, what, 8 years now? We had one fight, and I started the fight.
What you mean you started the fight, man?
I did my body work, right? And the joker said something, and I had to. So he, you know, I was joking again once. Hey, man, sit down. Man, what the fuck you doing? Oh, yeah, bloop, bloop.
You went old school on him? You went Mooka after practice?
Man. Oh, no, not that rough. I didn't do all that. I still be whooping on his ass.
Hey, yo, I thought you went Mooka after practice.
I didn't do Mooka on him. Look, my kid, my former players, some players like, man, this nigga crazy, man. Y'all don't know him like we know him. But at the end of the day, man, we have to give kids spaces to grow. We have to give kids spaces to understand that who they are, that they can be successful, and we have to give them the resources to do it. Now, now I know the question going to be, how did that relate to city government, right? City government is about helping people. It's about giving people the resources they need to succeed, right? It's not about enriching my pocket. It's not about enriching my friend's pocket. It's about enriching the city of Newark so that we all can be successful. Now, we have a tremendous lot of work to do, right? We got, 6% unemployment rate, right? I'm getting ready to launch a new jobs act called More Jobs Newark, right? I'm getting ready to focus on bringing more opportunities into this city for not just for young people, for all residents, right? We get ready to do something with some unions. Our SNAP benefit is off the ground. Last year we did 49. This year we are contracted to do 80 because of the success we had the year before that, right? If you look at my high school, we graduated 506, 508, whatever it is. If you think about it, that's a high school graduation. That's a traditional high school graduation, right? These are young people who are now going off to college, going off into the military, going off into business school, trade school. We have young people that's out doing great things with their life under our tutelage, right? So we want to make that bigger, right? I'm looking at some space in the West to do a school in the West, right? Because you have spaces where kids
hire it. I love what I'm doing, man. I love where I'm at, and I love what I'm doing.
You have spaces for kids, and we must deal with this. You know, I got a call from a kid who wanted to come to the school, but he's from the West, right? White, I can't come on that side of town. Well, you know what? Give me a couple months. I'm gonna bring the school to you, right? And then we got to deal with that because kids can't leave their block. Kids can't leave certain areas. We must deal with. We got to give kids. We have to give, particularly our young men, the opportunity to have some conflict resolution. That just because we have a difference of an opinion, a disagreement, or you live on this block and I live on that block, don't mean that you should die. Don't mean that I should die. And don't mean that we should kill each other because you live in a certain area and I live in this community. And for whatever reason, these communities don't like each other. We got to deal with that, man. We got to deal with that.
So, and that's apropos to hit the segue and to go out. So what do you feel when someone tells you that crime isn't as much of an issue as it used to be in Newark?
Do you feel safe?
I'm Anton Wheeler.
I'm talking about, but Anton Wheeler is always on alert too, though, right? You on alert. So, yes, we had a record low murders, 31 murders. I remember when we had 110, 115, but one murder to me is an issue, right? I still got young people who are afraid to come to school because, they don't get murdered, but they get assaulted, right? Right. So if we can create spaces and opportunities for kids to work, okay, you want to reduce crime, reduce poverty, right? So basically, I'm going to use the people's resources for the people's priorities. That's my goal, right? That's my goal, right? Every ward, one North.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the man himself. I doubt if he's a myth. He's damn sure a legend. And he's here for the community here in the city of Newark. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Altarik White, Al White.
Vote B9, baby. B9.
tell them where they can find some information about you if they need to look it up, Al.
You can go on the website, info@leadersforlife, altarikWhite.com. You can call 973-855-4950. I'm all over social media. Just type in Altarik White, type in Leaders for Life, and inbox me. But I'll tell you one thing. I will close on this, and this is not a Altarik White ploy. I need people to vote, man. We got 160-something thousand residents who are certified to vote, and the same 25,000 people vote. We need people to come out, right? Perfectly, I want you to vote B9, but I need you to vote. I need you to exercise your right to vote. Let these people know that you matter. Stop voting for who you like and vote your interests.
Hey, spoken like me. Vote your economics, vote your situation, vote your interests. And anybody telling you to support your oppressor, they are part of the oppressive class.
Yeah.
They are benefiting from the system. Brother, I thank you for doing this interview with me this evening, man. I appreciate it, man. This won't be the last one because we said we was going to get on the week before election.
Yeah.
You got what, 27
more days, 28 more days
left.
27 more days. Yeah.
I wish all of you the best of luck. I was able to speak with a bunch of you leading up to now. I'm supposed to be. I had spoken with Jamar Youngblood, and I spoke through text. I'm supposed to be getting up with him on Sunday. Hopefully that works out. I would love to pick his mind.
Right.
To see what he's thinking and what he's talking about. There's a lot of upheaval and controversy about him and his candidacy. But I just want to shoot the breeze with him and ask him some questions and see where his head is at and what his vision for Newark is if he was to get elected. Okay. It's a unique thing, man. You got about 8 or 9 people running for mayor, 18 running for March,
19. What I thought some people dropped out. I thought it was like 22. I'm not even following it.
I couldn't. When I saw the list when it first came out, my head hurt. I was like, dang. I was like,
I mean, everybody has an opportunity. We live in a democracy. Everybody has an opportunity, but I think that at this particular point, people should be, have an understanding that maybe I need to, start thinking about supporting someone else. If you really feel like there should be change, right? At the end of the day, I'm still trying to decide who I'm voting for. I'm only one. I know I'm voting for me, but I'm still trying to figure out who I'm voting for. So at the end of the day, I ran into some people. They said, I'm only voting for you. I said, nah, I don't think that's. But if that's what you want to do, that's fine. That's fine.
That's right.
But you should vote, right? You should get up and vote. I just hope it don't rain, because if it rains, it's going to be low turnout. And I just want people to get out and exercise their right to vote.
I think quietly, man, and I could be wrong, but I think quietly, given the present state of affairs in this country, in this county, in this state, and in this city, I think that people are covertly keeping quiet what they're going to do because they tired of the guerrilla politics and all that, and they just tired of being pressured and pressed. Yeah. And I just think whether it rains or shine, man, people going to show up, man, and really speak their mind.
So, and I know we got to go, but I got to say that I've spoken to, thousands of residents. I've knocked on thousands of doors, and the 90% of the sentiment is that I'm tired.
Yeah, man.
I'm tired of the bullshit. That's what they said.
Yeah, man.
Right? I'm tired of the bullshit. So trust, accountability, is what you get when you vote for Altarik White. Like I said, every ward, one Newark. Let's move Newark forward. Get out and vote. B9, Dr. Altarik B. White.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Anton Wheeler, your host of Voice of the People United. I'd like to thank our guest this evening, Dr. Altarik White, Al White. Listen, he said something that's very important, and I frame it this way. If you want to address your misery index, get out and vote.
That's right.
Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate, love, and respect y'all. God bless you all. Brother White, thank you for coming on, man.
Absolutely. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Have a blessed day.
Too long.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening, and I'll see you Sunday.